Good evening, everyone. Who's heard me talk about Foodtrade before? Right, I thought so. Where's James? Okay, I think I'm going to do 2 minutes and then you're up. James, who wants to hear about Real Food Hack last month? Good. Okay, I'm only going to do 2 minutes. Okay. That was close. So everything that Ben said about the food system is right. It's all a little bit fucked. And it needs to change quite a lot in the next 20 years. It needs to change now, but it is going to change an awful lot in the next 20 to 30 years, regardless of what anyone wants to happen. It is going to change. How is it going to change? And where do we want it to go? Well, to maximize all the benefits, what we want is lots of small, independent little resources producing stuff. That maximizes employment, health, shortens supply chains, increases environmental stewardship, distributes wealth, generates local economies, and so on and so on and so on. Because the food system isn't really just about feeding people, because that's kind of easy. I mean, we're producing twice as much as we need already at the moment, right? We're throwing half of it away, in some instances, post-consumer. And so it's what else can we do with it? What could we replace what we have? If we've got to change it anyway, what could we make it? How could it be even better? So it will be characterized by, hopefully, lots of small independent units. If they're working, if you've got that, then you need some way for them to collaborate and work together. That's what we set out to try and do. We set out to try and be the sort of Google for food. So if you're looking for something, you can find it locally. You can then connect with it, like you would on Facebook, and you can communicate with it in the same way that you might on Twitter, which then leads us to this wonderful sort of reasonably promiscuous network of food traders producing and consuming all over the place, building trust, building connections, building local resilience, and delivering a better food system. Of course, that happens at a variety of different scales, some more appropriate to their location. So in an urban setting, you might get lots of rooftop farms working together to work as a street, then supplying food, aggregating food at a street level or at an area level. So you might have a Hoxton area. And out in the country, you might have people shipping off hundreds of tons of oats to each other. So let's use a little example since we're all here. Who's single? Hands up if you're single. It's not that many people. Hang on. Have you looked around? That's a decent mix, actually. That's about 50-50. Hang on. Keep your hands up. Okay. So that's what we do. We just make information clear to people. You all want to, well, making some assumptions, but there is a reasonable desire to act on these things and maximize our own potential. And then you can just communicate with each other as you wish afterwards. Which then means that lots of happiness is released and generated, lots more relationships built up, and lots of, no, I'm not going to go there. And so what it's also kind of cool about is that it's very flexible, what we do. So whilst, we may have a directory of who's got cabbages or who's got carrots or chickens or anything, it also works with dry land and cows needing dry land, which for something like the flooding that we've had at the moment is really kind of useful, because we've got lots of farmers down in the southwest who've had to move their cattle and move their livestock. Actually, not that many, but only 8 have had to relocate livestock, which is quite interesting. But they all need feeding, and lots of forage has been washed away, become ruined by flooding, and so that's all being pulled in from around the country. So you can catalogue where that is as well. It's international out of the box. It works by Twitter and SMS, and if anyone's got £8,500, I'll take it. Thanks.